Hi everyone, good afternoon. We are Hyperface. Not many of you would know about us. We are a B2B company. So very few banks and very few e-commerce companies and fintechs would know about us. But essentially what Hyperface does is build the next generation of engagement layer for credit cards, building the next generation stack for credit cards. In fact, the panel just we had was pretty interesting. The question, in fact, that I wanted to ask is, how do you take credit to rural? And when you take credit to, let's say, we talked about 540 million debit cards. Now imagine if we had 540 million credit cards. Now, what would that look like, right? And can our systems actually scale for that, right? So those are the questions that we ask, right? And what is the next generation of customers expect out of their credit cards and their rewards systems and all of that, right? Will that scale, right? So Hyperface answers those questions, and we have built many systems around credit cards and of course the core system as well to address those concerns and to essentially fuel the growth of next generation of credit cards. We are an out and out tech company. We are a cloud native made in India product, and we are essentially taking our credit stack to a lot of banks here, but we are still in very early stages. But we're very confident that once we actually establish our presence here, we'll take the battle to the ground zero of credit cards, which is essentially the US market as well, right? We are very confident that our technology that we build here is going to be far superior to the existing legacy systems. And I think the Indian tech definitely can actually give a fantastic run for the money, even for the US companies, right? I think we are nothing short of fantastic in that regard, right? So that's Hyperface for you, and that's what we've built. So about this report, what we've actually put together is the history of credit cards and how it has actually shaped up over the years, and given you a lot of data points around this. And the shape of credit card in the years to come. I think what is extremely exciting for us is the linkage between credit cards and UPI. I think we're going to see a dramatic shift of the credit card landscape once that actually takes shape. And credit cards will then become a dal chawal product as well, just like how today UPI and our savings bank accounts are. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Ramanathan. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you the Hyperface Credit Cards 2.0, time for exponential growth. Thank you so much.
So one quick pointer on the report itself. It's available obviously online, so you'll get it through. The report, so typically when you look at India, you don't see anything about credit card available which is easy to understand. The objective which Hyperface team took it is that let's simplify the cards and make people understand how it works, the innovations which are going to work, all of that. So all of that is inside. It is maybe I would say 101 plus futuristic view. So have a look at it. And unlike other places, I hate paid reports. So it's a free report, anybody can download, and that is the case with all our reports as well. So over to you and enjoy with that, right? So we will go with the next one.
Thank you so much, Samir sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we now move on to a book launch. That's right, we're launching a book now, which is Money, a Zero-Sum Game. Please allow me to extend a very warm, hearty welcome to Professor Krishnamurthy Vaidhyanathan and Professor Krishnamurthy V. Subramaniam, writers and economists. Can we please put our hands together and welcome him up on stage? Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you Money, a Zero-Sum Game.
No, I'm honored, Samir. First of all, thank you, Samir and his team, for giving us this opportunity to talk about the book. A very important reason why we chose Bharat Fintech was, and we may have had second thoughts if the summit was named India Fintech, because a very important objective of the book is to reach out to the Bharat. There is enough banking for India, but there isn't enough banking for Bharat. And, you know, by God's grace, when I had the opportunity to interact with the Prime Minister, I mentioned to him that, you know, we don't do enough credit. You know, we don't have enough technology for the rural population, the Suru as we call it, semi-urban, rural, urban. And another important reason why we chose to do the book launch very briefly was that, and very quickly, is that a lot of you from the fintech space perhaps think that, you know, the only way you are helping the common man and the average man in the street, especially a villager in a remote village, is by facilitating the banking and financial experience, the technology part of it. But, you know, you probably can give a pat on your shoulders, given that you're working in this space, because, you know, we also discuss in the book that when credit is made available to the villages and to the larger economy, people who are new to credit, when they get credit, the economy grows, the economy becomes better off. So, you know, we still have where we have bank hai par banking nahi, and that is something that you guys are changing. So I just wanted to, you know, just put a pat on your shoulders and say that, you know, you're doing a tremendous, a very important work in facilitating banking and credit to Bharat. And thank you for being present for the book launch. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor, for joining us today and, of course, sharing your gift with all of us here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to our next report launch. BaaS report launched by EdgeVerve, the digital fifth. Our speaker now is going to be Mr. Puneet Chahira, Head of Marketing and Platform Strategy, Infosys Finacle. Can we please put our hands together and welcome him up on stage?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I know I'm standing between lunch and this session, but I have to wait for Shashank because, frankly, my colleague Bunny, who's sitting there, didn't choose to come up with me now. And Shashank and a couple of our colleagues are the real author. I'm not. Samir and I had just the opportunity to support them in their journey of unearthing some of the findings which are relevant for our market today. A quick introduction. I work for Infosys Finacle. As many of us may know, it's one of the most successful platform used in this country, as well as today in over 100 countries. You can call us one of the earliest fintechs going global out of this country. And over the many years, we have worked with banks of all sizes. banks who may represent India and Bharat, and banks who are global and international. And some of the themes are very common irrespective of which country you look at. And a theme of how do we have banking taken into the context of customers through banking as a service and embedded finance obviously has got the fancy of everybody across the world. The simplest way to look at is if we roll back, just 20 years ago at the start of this century, more than 50% of all kind of customer interactions for a banking industry used to happen in assisted channels. If you look at today, I think not only just progressive banks, even the banks who will be called as mainstream or followers are also experiencing some of the most common interactions, whether it is in the form of payments, transactions, bill payments. They're all moved to digital channels. But what's happening in parallel is a large part of these transactions are going to eventually move to third-party apps and embedded application experiences. And in India, we have seen that with UPI. We all know that over 80% of UPI transactions originate through PhonePe, Google Pay, and Paytm. And Paytm, it's now a bank, but traditionally a fintech, if you would like to consider that way. It's the same experience we all know is going to happen through lending, through wealth management, through other product which our industry has to offer. So how can we contribute to that as a technology provider? It's our privilege that we get to work with banks across the globe. So we work with, say, for example, Goldman Sachs in the US, and when they are trying to, bring in the value through banking as a service medium by engaging with Amazon on one side, where Amazon sellers take loan on the Amazon seller platform, with Apple Card, which has given them some trouble recently, as we heard in news, but has been a great way of expanding the business. As well as locally, likes of ICICI, likes of Federal Bank, likes of Axis Bank, many of our clients who are taking extremely strong position as far as new age banking is concerned. So when we work with clients, it's our responsibility to continue to help them think also more clearly. And in order to do that, we partnered with Digital Fifth, Shashank, Deepak, Sameer and team, as well as Bani Brata, who heads our API delivery platform strategy, along with my colleague Abhijit, who's not here today, to come together to launch this report. May I request now the authors to come up and help us really unveil this report. The physical version is available here. The digital version will be available super soon. Sameer, Shashank, Deepak, Bani, please. Raktim, please join us. And we'll request the real authors. I've been a makeshift person to come and just give you a little sense of why we did what we did. Here are the real people. Could we have a round of applause for them?